What's up, everybody? It's your favorite stealth bomber's favorite nerd, and today we are looking at the recently released Flame Toys IDW styled Megatron when he turned into a stealth bomber. Not my favorite design of Megatron, but not my least favorite either. This is all known to me, of course, from Robert D. There's a ton to talk about here, per usual with all Flames Toys products, this one being no exception. So let's go ahead and get started, and we'll start with accessories. So he comes with a display base. It's kind of sculpted and done in the usual Flame Toys fashion. We have all sorts of tech details and stuff. And it looks like even a layer of paint has been added to it, which is interesting. A metallic paint, like a really sharp metallic paint, would have probably looked better. But be that as it may, we have the stand. The stand can plug into either this section or this section. We'll just use the backmost section. And then this piece here articulates on a hinge, and that can come down and sit into one of these grooves and holds tension. The stand itself can raise or lower, and then this piece locks it in place. And what else do we got? Okay, and then we have the hinge piece here. This comes off, and then you can just adjust it to where you want, and that'll lock back in place. And you have the adapter, and you have the peg. And the adapter will plug this piece here into the butt of Megatron, but just be cautious because it is a tight fit. And just to show you, good night moon. It is, that's either way, so it's not like it's like, it has to go a specific way. All right, he comes with a ton of hand options. We have two sets of opposing hands, one where it's more, flayed, and one where it's more out. And then we have three sets of holding hands. We have two trigger finger hands and two sets of holding hands in addition to the trigger finger hands. And all of that is in addition to the two fist hands that you saw in the opening footage. They're all decoed the same, which is to say this metallic black paint on top of this like really great deep like grayish purple color for the fingers themselves. Now, Robert D ordered the exclusive, so it came with a couple exclusive parts, some we'll talk about later, but he does come with one extra face. I believe it's this one with the mouth screaming open, and then this is the standard face that's more of a kind of maniacal smile-esque. They both look very cool, both decoed the same way, which we'll talk about when we get to the figure. However, just know that the inside of the mouth is painted purple, and I think that's the appropriate choice somehow, but yeah, it looks good. He comes with two swords. They are identical. You have a gunmetal silver and then a darker kind of metallic gray down at the bottom, and then the translucent purple for kind of a light up effect inside of the blade itself. Sculpted beautifully, painted beautifully. And he'll hold that just fine. Now, you can also take the sword and separate these gray pieces from it. However, I got news for you. It is a little scary. So there's one piece, and there's the other. And you're left with this hilt. You can sit that to the side, and then you can combine these over top of this hilt. And now he kind of has like a, and I can't see exactly what I'm doing, but he kind of has like a double-edged sword as well. And obviously, he'll hold that just fine as well. And you can obviously get this a lot tighter. I just don't want to, there it is. Now, he also comes with his mace because Megatron, and it has a handle, obviously, and then the light-up effect of purple translucent all the way up to the ball of kind of fire spikes. And the only issue with this is this one plug here, like, doesn't really, like, it doesn't have the tension. So, like, I might, move this. I think they're all, you can separate all of them and remove that one link from the chain, so to speak. And then also this piece down here at the bottom can separate and plug in directly, so we could just have a shorter one as well, or any kind of variation thereof. So, I mean, it's pretty cool, but I'll tell you, the chain, the like fire chain, it's a cool concept, and I love it through the ball itself with like the fire spikes. Like, I think that's actually really, really cool. But, it doesn't work extremely well. It doesn't look great because of the chain. It would have been better probably if it was just pre-posed and not posable. And sculpted, that probably would have looked better. But as it is, it's kind of fine, except for this. There is a weak link in the chain, you might say. And then we have the metallic gunmetal here for the ball itself, and the metallic purple paint on there as well, which look great. And of course, he can hold the handle. Then he has his pistol, which is a bit meta, but I suppose that we can accept it. And it has the darker gunmetal paint and then the silver paint. And of course the Decepticon symbol tampoed on there as well. And you can kind of, you know what I mean? Like, which is a bit much. This actually has a gimmick, which we'll talk about here in a second. But even like for posing and stuff, if you could get his hands to kind of make it look like he's like loading it or something, like would look pretty cool. He'll hold that just fine. Now it also comes with this piece, which is a holster for it that you can slide the weapon in, and then it'll sit there. You utilize this peg and the slot right there in that silver, and you can plug that in and have it on his, like, it's like its bottom, like it's like an ankle holster almost, but still cool enough. Now there's also a sniper option with these accessories. So you take your gun and you pull that forward, which we talked about just a second ago, and you slide this whole bit into the front piece. And once you have that in place, we'll talk about this here for a second, the same metallic deco and then the gold deco there. And then you take this piece, and that clip fits around the backside of, oh, good grief. It's just there. And then you have the scope with, yeah, that's the scope, right? I don't know, what am I? Sniper gang. Put that there. And you have this. So just a longer form of the weapon, you know, different type of weapon, honestly. But yeah, the bipod, and then you have an additional handle that he can hold down there. And then also, I guess it's a tripod at the end of the day with that. So all of that is pretty cool. And of course, he'll hold it the same way because it's the same handle, right? And while we're on the topic of the sniper rifle, since Robert did get the exclusive, it also came with this case and silver paint on it, gold paint on it, the purple metallic paint for the Decepticon symbol, etc. And you can open up the case here and then expose the inside parts, which does house all of the weapon pieces. I'll show it here in a second. And then the top part here is all sculpted to look like Megatron's chest, the G1 chest, which is really cool. Even like the abdomen piece here. So yeah, very cool. And there it is, housing all the components, including the holster. So very cool. And he'll hold that just fine as well. Then he comes with the backpack wing assortment. So painted beautifully per usual, we have silver and gold, as well as metallic purple and the metallic kind of black colors added throughout, and some gunmetal in there as well. And there it is on the opposite side. So you have this. We'll talk about the articulation of this very briefly. So they hinge at that pin, so you can get back and forth. Then they all hinge independently as well around. Now, they also, like you see, so you can get them up like Batman wings, you know, out to the side, or you can have it down like a cape. It's really smart stuff going on here. We'll obviously show a number of pictures and stuff in the final thoughts. So it also comes with 6 of these. Now these all have moving pieces as well. The bottom translucent purple piece slides up and down. The middle piece slides back and forth, and we have silver and the black metallic there. And then the upper piece does something too. Yes, this piece here slides back and forth. We have silver underneath there, metallic purple there, metallic black, as well as the translucent pieces. Then you have this peg on the opposite side. And here we have these pieces, right? But this is too shallow, so if you just slide this down, that will open up the slot wide enough for the peg to fit in, and then the peg will fit in. And that's how you attach all of them. So we'll go ahead and do that. And then on the back of Megatron, just take this little tab off there, and then slide the backpack on. He comes with 2 of these cannons. Once again, it has the black metallic paint, once again purple translucent, once again gunmetal, once again silver, and a peg here, and some gold, silver and gold again at the front. Now on the back here, you can lift this up and this down on both sides. These hinge too, by the way, obviously. And peg these in so that he has the 2 cannons on the back. They will also peg in to his forearm. Once both cannons are plugged, or either really, once the cannons are plugged in, they actually do articulate on double hinges and can come up and over, you know, to be on the other side of his head, so that's cool too. All right, now you can take the backpack off and you can take out this piece, and this piece will actually go back on by itself, and this has little side wings that come out here. So if you want that as like a little jetpack, you can do that as well. Now he also has his waist guns. Now these peg into his backside, which I will show. It has die-cast armatures, and then all of the weaponry here, silver paint, gold, silver and gold again, metallic purple, metallic black, metallic silvers, gunmetal paint, etc. All of this is fully articulated, which you can't see because I have it out of frame. But a hinge and another hinge and a swivel at the top. It's just like, you know, no stone unturned, as it were. And I haven't messed with this accessory a whole lot, but I wonder if it moves at all. Doesn't feel like it does. However, it looks very cool. So I figured it out. It took a minute. I could tell something was moving in there. This little fin can come up, and then this little part can fold out also. So it does have some more stuff going on in it. Pegs in to his back. I'm going to take a little bit of care and caution when I do this, so I'm not going to show it right this second. But pegs in right there in the same way that the flight stand does. And then it has another hole in the back so the flight stand can peg directly into this. And then you get two of these Predator-style weapons with gold paint applied to the blades, gunmetal, metallic purple, and then the metallic black. Peg right there in the center of it. That marries up to the hole right there in the forearm, if I can see it, right there. And there he is, kind of all armored up, and it is pretty impressive. And this is more, you know, kind of relaxed. And like I said, like you can have, you know, maybe even that looks better for this particular look with the guns, the hip guns kind of down. But like, there's just so much you can do with it. They're very versatile. Like the wings are extraordinary. You know, we've looked at wings here recently, and I much prefer these, honestly. Just the way they do business, the way that they work, the elegance of them. It all works really, really well. Gimmicks wise, he does come with a light up feature on numerous things. Pretty much everything that's translucent lights up, to include the accessories. It's just too much for me to do. I'm not taking all these screws out. This doesn't belong to me. Robert wants me to, but he's just gonna have to relax also. I don't even know if I had the time to do all of it today. But here's a picture of it all lit up. I'm sure it looks great. All right, so let's talk about the figure, and we'll start with the head sculpt. I love it. The black metallic on there looks great. The purple metallic looks great. We should probably just talk about the deco kind of straight away. It's largely made up of this black metallic. Sometimes it's more metallic, sometimes it's more flat. This gray, the metallic purple, which looks great throughout. Variations of silver and gold. And this lighter, this darker color gray. Mostly the color palette that we've looked at so far in the accessories, to be fair. The metallic red, which looks super striking there. So the face itself, metallic red eyes, gray face. Head is on a ball peg into the neck. Neck is on, no, it's a double ball peg into the neck. And then the neck is on a single ball peg as well. That gets the head all the way down. Fair bit up. Swivel, confused Megatron look is no problem. For the shoulders, there's a lot going on here. These shoulders do rotate up. I'm trying to be mindful of the paint, but you see the hinge on the shoulder there? So they do rotate up a bit there. They also rotate out on a hinge for a butterfly joint. Now, you have this flap here, which will get up and out of the way to allow the shoulder joint here to get out. So using all of it in concert, you get it pretty close to 90 degrees, if not 100%. And I'm not pushing this thing to its limits. I never do when it doesn't belong to me and it's super expensive. All right, and then it rotates around on the universal, right? So we have a bicep swivel. The bicep, we have the silver, we have the dark metallic, we have the purple metallic, and the gray. Now, it has a double hinged elbow. As it moves on two joints and bends the middle bits to cover down. As you can see, like this comes in, this stays stagnant. It all looks great. This piece comes out from the bicep and is sculpted and painted. Outstanding, with a pretty phenomenal range. All right, we have a forearm swivel, which doesn't usually do much for me. However, because of the pieces that plug into the forearm, I get it. And then we have the wrist. So the wrist is on basically a double ball peg. It's a ball peg from the forearm to the wrist plate, ball peg from the wrist plate into the fist. So you can get the hand all the way in, up, down, and out, plus the swivel. Beautiful. I don't think I've seen them do this. Oh, and then the forearm hinges as well from inside of this socket. I don't think I've ever seen them do that before. It's amazing. Waist swivel. You also get a hinge forward for part of the ab crunch there, and a secondary hinge forward from the chest into the abdomen. Where the secondary one is, you also get a hinge side to side for the teapot, and the rib pieces here are independently attached, so they will move down or out to allow for articulation or cover down on the joint. Gorgeous. All right, articulation for the other arm is the same, and then deco-wise, we've kind of covered it. All right, for the hips, we have universals. Get you out to there. This one is a little tight enough where I'm not gonna push it. This one feels great. I'm not sure what's going on there, so I'm just gonna leave it be. And forward and back, no problem. Let me back out the camera now a bit. Back, little limited, but that's kind of fairly common with figures, because you don't really get your leg back that far in real life anyway. For the leg, we have the same kind of usual Flame Toys fare, except we have the translucent pieces added now. A different, brighter shade of silver for the knee. Thigh swivel is built around the universal. Unfortunately, you get more outward. Well, that gets you a little bit more range, though, than you do inward. But it's a little strange there. All right, so then the knee, I just want you to watch all the moving parts. Double jointed knee. As this joint moves, actually, yeah, so the one hinge here, as it moves, the knee plates separate to cover down on the joint, and then close back up as you manipulate the joint forward. So one more time. They do this type of stuff, always looks great. And back. And then on the back, just look how detailed that is. The grates there, all this stuff moves around it as you move the joint. The translucents, the different color paints, looks fantastic. And then you have the ankles. You have this flap that gets up and out of the way, this flap that gets up and out of the way, this flap that gets up and out of the way, and then the rear flap which gets up and out of the way to allow for an ankle tilt down, an ankle tilt up on a double hinge, and a rocker. The rocker, I will say, seems a little limited for no good reason. Like, it looks like it has the space clearance wise. It just doesn't do it. Other than that, it's good. The bottom of the feet are completely painted. There's die cast in the joints. Pretty amazing, per usual. Size comparison wise, once again, I don't really have anything that's really great to put him next to other than Tarn, but he stands about 9 inches to the top of his head, and his shoulders are about 6.5 to 7 inches wide. So it's a lot of goodness packed into 9 inches, so to speak. Final thoughts wise, let's start with the negatives. The Mace is an issue. Cool thought, but probably should have been redesigned. Cool concept, doesn't really work, especially when the tolerances are off for the actual links in the chain, so to speak. So that should have been sorted out. Also, there are still some joint tolerance issues. I've noticed this in more recent Flames Toys product that I haven't noticed in the early products like Drift and Tarn. I'm starting to notice like tight and stubborn joints where we haven't really had that before. Also, I would have liked a little bit more articulation in the ankles, but I'm nitpicking here admittedly. And honestly, that's all I got. This thing is beautiful. It's gorgeous. It reminds you why they are the company they are. It's painted top to bottom. It's sculpted top to bottom. The articulation is engineered at a level that few can rival. The engineering that has gone into all of the accessories, along with the articulation and the materials, plus the build, is second to none. It's the best that I've ever seen. That, along with a slew of accessories that all pretty much create captivating, dynamic poses, along with the light up gimmick, it's really a magnificent thing. Fully and truly a strong recommend from me if you're into the character, into Transformers, into this design, or into cool figures. Can't say much more about it. It's outstanding. It is a clear reminder why they are elite, why they are a cut above, why they are one of the best. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take care.